The $8,000 a month I've been sending for your care, Grandma. Dad's been helping you with it, right? I stared across the restaurant table at my grandson, my thoughts spinning. $8,000? Your dad's been giving me the money, hasn't he? The color drained from Danny's face. For years, I'd been thanking him for his monthly help, $1,000 that made the difference between groceries and going hungry. But $8,000? I whispered, 8,000? That's when it hit me. My own son had been hiding something. But it wasn't just about the money. What I uncovered about his secret life, while I was cutting pills in half and choosing between rent and food, shattered everything. This is the story of how a surprise Thanksgiving visit from my grandson exposed a betrayal so deep, it tore our family apart, but in doing so, saved my life. Before we dive in, let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to subscribe to Still Got It. True stories, where amazing women prove that it's never too late for a new beginning. My name is Grace Bennett, and at 68, I never imagined I'd be counting heart pills like they were diamonds. But there I was, on a cold Tuesday morning, holding the nearly empty bottle, just 3 tablets left. 3 pills, 3 more days before I'd have to decide, medication or groceries. I sat in the kitchen of my tiny apartment on Maple Street in Springfield, Illinois, staring at that orange bottle. Beside it sat the rent notice, stamped in red. Final notice, $200 late fee added. My pension barely covered rent. My part-time job at Hillman's Grocery, down the block, paid just enough to keep the lights on and a little food in the fridge. Medication? That was a luxury. The cruel irony wasn't lost on me. After 35 years as a school secretary, and a lifetime of saving with my late husband Frank, here I was, nearly 70 and still clocking in, still rationing the pills that kept my heart steady. I tucked the bottle into my purse and bundled up in my threadbare coat for my afternoon shift. The November air sliced through me, but missing a day wasn't an option. Every hour on the clock mattered. "Morning, Grace," called out Mr. Hillman as I hung up my coat in the little back room. "Doing great," I lied with a smile. He was kind. The kind of person who hired someone like me when no one else would. He didn't need to know that I skipped breakfast or that I was stretching my medication. I started stocking canned goods, feeling the weight of every can more than usual. My chest was tight, but I kept moving. Around 2 p.m., Danny walked in, dressed in a sleek navy suit and polished leather shoes that probably cost more than my paycheck. At 42, he still had that movie star smile, though the lines on his face had deepened since the divorce 3 years ago. "Hey there, Mom," he said, hugging me quickly, his cologne expensive and unfamiliar. "You look sharp, Danny. What brings you here?" He pulled an envelope from his jacket. "Just dropping off your monthly support. I know things are tight." I took the envelope, the familiar weight of $1,000 inside. It helped me stay afloat, barely. "You're too good to me," I said, my voice catching. "You raised me right. It's the least I can do." He looked around the store, almost like he felt sorry for me. "You sure you need to keep working here?" "It keeps me busy," I said quickly. The truth was, I couldn't afford to stop. He checked his watch, sleek, silver, and new. "Gotta run. Clients waiting. Take care, okay?" After he left, I stepped into the back and opened the envelope. 10 crisp $100 bills. I folded them carefully and tucked them into my wallet, already calculating how to make it last until next month. I smiled faintly. My son wasn't perfect, but he was helping. That had to mean something. 3 days later, it all came crashing down. "If things go well, I'll finally be able to care for you the way you and Grandpa always cared for me," Alex had said, the day he left. Danny had driven him to the airport. I hugged my grandson tightly, and before he stepped into the terminal, he leaned in and whispered, "I'll call you every Sunday. I promise. And someday soon, I'll make sure you never have to worry about money again." That was 3 years ago. The Sunday calls stopped after a few months. Whenever I asked Danny why I hadn't heard from Alex, he always had an explanation. "The time difference makes it tricky. He's working crazy hours. His phone plan doesn't support international calls right now." Whenever I asked for Alex's number or address in Dubai, Danny would brush it off. He asked me to handle everything so he can stay focused. He sends his love through me all the time. Eventually, I stopped asking. I didn't want to seem needy. The hardest part was his birthdays. Every March, I'd bake his favorite chocolate chip cookies and ask Danny to send them. He always promised to take care of it, but I never knew if they arrived. For my own birthday, Danny would bring a card, saying it was from Alex. but the handwriting was unmistakably his. Alex asked me to write it. His handwriting's gotten awful from all that computer work, he once said. Last Christmas, I spent weeks knitting a scarf for Alex. I remembered how easily he got cold as a boy. I chose soft blue yarn, the same color as his eyes, just like Frank's. When I handed it to Danny, he hesitated. Mom, you know he's in Dubai, right? It's usually 90 degrees there. Maybe he travels somewhere cooler, I replied, holding on to hope. He took the scarf, but something about his expression made me wonder if Alex would ever actually see it. The silence hurt more than I let on. Sometimes, I'd still set 3 places at the kitchen table out of habit. I'd catch myself talking to Alex's picture on the fridge, telling him about my day or laughing about Mrs. Kowalski's cat getting stuck again on the fire escape. You'd laugh at that, wouldn't you, sweetheart? I'd say to his photo in the graduation cap. But through the ache, I held on to my pride. My grandson was out there, doing something meaningful with that brilliant mind of his. Even if he couldn't call, even if Danny said he was struggling, I believed he'd succeed. He always had that spark. I just wished I could tell him that myself. The Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I was counting pills at my kitchen table when a knock came at the door. I wasn't expecting anyone. Danny always called before visiting. Mrs. Kowalski had her own key for emergencies. When I opened the door, my heart nearly stopped. Alex? I whispered. There he stood, not the boy I remembered, but a grown man. Tall, confident, wearing a coat that looked like it belonged in a fashion magazine. His dark hair was shorter, and his frame had filled out, but those eyes, they were still Frank's eyes. Kind, thoughtful. Grandma Grace, he said, his voice deeper, warmer. I dropped the pill bottle and rushed into his arms. He caught me and lifted me slightly off the ground as I broke down in tears. I can't believe you're here, I sobbed. I've missed you so much, he murmured, voice thick with emotion. More than I can say. As I pulled back, he took in the details, my worn robe, the tremor in my hands, the fatigue on my face. Danny doesn't know you're here, does he? I asked softly. Not yet. I wanted to surprise both of you. He bent to pick up my scattered pills. Reading the label, his brows furrowed. Are you feeling okay, Grandma? I'm fine, sweetheart. Just older now. I gently took the pills from his hand. Come in. You must be exhausted. He stepped inside, pausing to take it all in. The cramped kitchen, the old furniture, the overdue bills on the counter. He walked to the fridge and touched the photo of his graduation. You still have this old picture? Of course. I look at it every morning. He smiled faintly. I was young and terrified that day. And we were so proud, I said. Your grandpa kept telling everyone that day his grandson was going to change the world. I hope I am, Alex said, eyes soft. We moved to the living room. He sat on the old couch like he'd never left. Do you remember, I asked, settling into my chair, how you'd stay with us after the divorce? You were so serious even as a little boy. Alex laughed. I remember making cookies with you. I'd always crack the eggs wrong, and you'd let me sneak dough when Grandpa wasn't looking. You always made things feel normal again, he said, voice quieter now. Even when everything else felt messy. You learned how to be thoughtful, I said. He nodded, like when Mrs. Thompson broke her hip. You made casseroles for 3 weeks. When I asked why, you said, we always have enough to share, I finished. He smiled. That lesson never left me. Everything I've done, all the success, it's been about helping people the way you helped me. I wiped a tear. Your grandfather would be so proud. I think about him a lot, Alex said. And about you. That's why I'm here. I've realized how much I've missed, being away. You were building your future, I said gently. But I should have stayed in touch. Dad told me you didn't want too many calls, that it would worry you. My stomach turned, but I nodded. I've missed talking to you more than you know. Tell me the truth, Grandma. Are you happy? I hesitated. How could I tell him I sometimes skipped meals? That I counted pills like they were treasure? That I missed him so much I called his old number just to hear his voicemail? I'm happy you're here, I said softly. Have you eaten today? Just some toast. Toast? It's 5 p.m. He stood, already headed for the kitchen. Let me cook something for you. Like you did for me. He opened the fridge and froze. Nearly empty. A bit of milk, leftover soup, some bread. Grandma, where are your groceries? I shop day to day. It works for me. He closed the fridge, turned to me. This isn't right. I'm fine, Alex. I've taken care of myself for 70 years. You shouldn't have to just survive. You deserve better. Before I could respond, he was on his phone. I'm calling Dad. We're going out. You, me, and him. Dinner. Somewhere special. Alex, really? No arguments. I want this. He dialed. Dad, it's me. I'm at Grandma's. Yes, surprise. Let's meet for dinner, my treat. 1 hour later, I was sitting in the back of a luxurious car. Alex called an Uber. I wore my burgundy church dress. He kept saying I looked beautiful. Your grandfather would be so proud of this, I said as we drove. His grandson, successful, caring, taking care of his family. Alex squeezed my hand. Everything I am came from you and Grandpa. The restaurant was like nothing I'd seen, elegant, with soft lighting and servers in black. The menus had no prices, and my stomach twisted at the thought. Danny arrived 20 minutes late, in a sharp suit I hadn't seen before. He hugged Alex a bit too tightly. You look great, he said. Dubai must be treating you well. It has, Alex replied coolly. You look good too. Nice suit. Oh, just something for client meetings, Danny said quickly. As we ordered, I stuck to the cheapest item I could find, which still cost more than I spent on groceries all week. Order anything you want, Grandma, Alex said. This is for you. We chatted. Alex spoke about his business, its growth, and plans for expansion. Danny nodded, but I noticed how fidgety he was. Then Alex leaned back and said it. By the way, Dad, how's Grandma been doing with the money I've been sending? I looked up. Money? Alex turned to me with a warm smile. The $8,000 I've been sending each month for your care. Dad's been helping you with it, right? For medicine, for housing, for everything she needs? Alex repeated. Danny's face instantly changed. I looked first at Alex, then at Danny, and couldn't believe what I was hearing. $8,000? I whispered. Alex's smile disappeared. He looked from me to his father. Dad, you gave Grandma that money, right? There was silence. Danny paled, beads of sweat breaking out on his forehead, even though the restaurant was cool. Of course I helped Mom, he muttered. You know that, Alex? I gave her money every month. How much exactly? Alex's voice turned icy. Danny hesitated, looking around. Can we talk about this later? Alone? How much, Dad? I felt like I was watching a scene underwater. I get $1,000 a month, I said quietly. You send $8,000, and he gives me $1. Alex froze. His hands slowly clenched into fists, and the expensive watch on his wrist glittered in the soft light of the lamps. $1,000, he repeated, as if he couldn't comprehend what he had heard. Asterisk, out of 8? Alex, you don't understand, Danny hurried. There are expenses, commissions, currency exchange, taxes. 7,000 expenses? Alex's voice took on a chill that made the waiter turn around and walk away. What kind of commissions could cost 7,000, Dad? It's complicated. International transfers, you wouldn't understand. I've been transferring money internationally for 3 years now, Alex replied, louder than usual. I know the fees very well, about $15. Danny's mouth opened and closed, as if he was choking. People started turning in our direction. Where's the money, Dad? Alex, please. At home. Where? The money? My son's voice boomed throughout the room. Several tables fell silent. The manager of the establishment headed toward us, but I sat there, paralyzed. $7,000 every month, stolen. All this time I was dividing pills and choosing between food and rent. And he, just stole. You lived on my money, Alex said quietly, almost threateningly. The BMW, the designer clothes, the restaurants, all of this was paid for with the money I sent to take care of Grandma. Son, it's not like that. It's not like that. Alex pulled out his phone. I sent $8,000 to you and another $8,000 to Grandma. $16,000 a month. Almost $200,000 a year. And you still stole from her. My head was spinning. Alex was paying for Danny for me and for his life. And I was living on $1,000. Do you even have a job, Dad? Silence. Danny swallowed. You said you had sales, meetings? Lies. Alex leaned back. You live only on my money. And you steal on top of that. I finally found my voice. You don't work? Mom, I can explain. You pretended to go to work for 2 years. You let me believe that you were helping out of the goodness of your heart. I thanked you, and you gave me 1/8 of what my son sent me himself. Alex slammed the table. The glasses shook. You gave her money for your help. The manager came over. Please, be quiet. Alex nodded, stood up, put a few hundred on the table. Grandma, let's go. We need to talk. I stood up. Danny grabbed my hand. Mom, please let me explain. You don't understand? I looked at his hand. At his face. Don't touch me, I said. Mom, don't touch me. I pulled my hand away. I don't want to hear anything, Danny. Alex grabbed my arm. Are you okay, Grandma? I nodded. As we were leaving, Danny screamed, Mom, Alex, please. We're family. Alex stopped and said, family doesn't steal from family. Family doesn't leave mother without medicine while driving a BMW. I'll fix it. I'll give the money back. With what? You don't have a job, remember? Outside, the cool November air hit us. We were standing in the parking lot. Alex opened the car door for me. Where are we going? I asked. Home, he answered. A real home, where you won't want for anything. But my apartment, I'll rent you a better place. Or you can stay with me until we get everything sorted out. I got into the car. My hands were still shaking. I turned to my grandson. Did you know? He nodded. I suspected, but I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe he really was helping. But when you said you were only getting 1,000, I understood. I closed my eyes. My heart was clenched not from betrayal, but from shame. I felt blind, deceived. How could I not have noticed? It's not your fault, Alex said, as if he had read my thoughts. He was supposed to take care of you. Instead, he used you. I nodded. My lips were trembling. I was holding back tears. I didn't want to cry in front of him. You deserve better, Grandma, he added. And I'll give you that. The car pulled out onto the highway. In the mirror, I saw the restaurant disappearing into the distance, and with it, the man I thought was my son. That day I lost my son. But I found the truth. Sometimes the people we love the most are the ones who hurt us the most. But you know what's really important? It's that there's someone there who doesn't just love you, but respects you, cares for you, and is ready to stand up for you. Alex showed me that family isn't just words. It's actions. Do you think it's possible to forgive such a